You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it, and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk and Text line. You can call in, text in, again at 833-212-1017. But remember, you can always watch and stream us live on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. 1017 The Truth on the YouTubes. You can give us a like and make sure y'all subscribe as well. Man, listen, I got these headphones. Only one ear work. It's crazy, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. But again, go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Before I get in today, and boy, oh boy, Truth Nation, this is going to be a show. What up? Shout out to my producer, Rhea Riley, holding it down on the ones and the twos.
Hello.
And shout out to you, Truth Nation. Let me tell y'all something. I may end up getting sick today. Simply because of the fact that this weather out here is terrible. The air quality is trash. And I was going to grab a mask, but I said, that's doing the most. That's doing too much. I don't need a mask. I don't need to do any of that. But then I forgot I got to be at State Fair today. I'm going to be outside for 3 hours. So if I'm coughing and wheezing tomorrow, I may need a what's that, a work attorney? If you get sick at work? Yeah, because if I get sick at work tomorrow, best to believe I'm going to have a huge problem, huge attitude. But again, Truth Nation, today, there's a lot of different things that we can talk about and a lot of different things we can address. And if you've been listening to 1017 The Truth today, you've heard a lot of conversation talking about that emergency meeting that the Common Council had yesterday. I discussed it on Tuesday, and I encouraged everybody to reach out to leadership, reach out to your Common Council member or anybody you know in the Common Council with some ideas or some solutions to the issues that we have in the city of Milwaukee when it comes to the violence that we are seeing on Water Street. Now, again, you've heard Sherwin talk about it. You heard Ben and Carrie talk about it on Jamming with Juice. And trust me, this is an important conversation to be had because that emergency meeting had some ideas come out of it. And the outcome of that meeting on this show will be discussed tomorrow when I'll be joined by Bailey Coleman. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Not only will I be giving away some shmoney, 5,000 smackaroos, $5,000, 5,000 G's, I will also be joined by Bailey Coleman, and we will break down and get your reaction to what the response was by the Milwaukee Police Department and the Common Council on what to do about Water Street and what to do about the ruckus that is happening in downtown Milwaukee. But Truth Nation, there is something to me that I wouldn't say is more pressing, but I think they're equal, that needs to be addressed. And as y'all always know, my goal, when I come here every single day, my simple goal is to inform and educate and provide people with the tools and the resources needed to be able to speak up and speak out against the nonsense that we see going on in our country. That is what my goal is. I want to make sure I'm entertaining as well. But also I want to make sure people walk away learning something new and being able to have the information to go on and spread that information. Because I feel like, again, maybe it's me and maybe I'm, I think higher myself than y'all may think of me. But I believe the information that I provide is important information to know because it impacts our day-to-day lives. Now, when I say this, do understand, what's coming up, do understand it's not hyperbolic. I am not exaggerating. I am not embellishing any stories. I am not extreme, and nor am I trying to fearmonger. I just want people to understand that. I am simply just giving the honest truth. So when I say this, understand I am being honest and I am not trying to fearmonger you, Truth Nation. And again, 833-212-1017. I want to hear from y'all today, but make sure y'all watch the stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Truth Nation, I need y'all to understand. The end of the American democracy is upon us. I'll say it again. The end of the American democracy is upon us. And I understand that is a bold statement to make. I understand that that's a strong stance to take. But what I need y'all to understand, unfortunately, what I am saying is true. And unfortunately, what I am saying is very, very scary. Now, imagine a world where we have politicians who are more focused on finding sneaky ways to keep themselves in power versus ensuring that Americans can live a free and happy life. Imagine we live in a world where politicians are crafting ways to keep their grip and hold on power. Meanwhile, they're not focused on trying to make sure that people across this country have affordable housing. They're not focused on people in this country having affordable health care. They're not focused on lowering the prices. They're not focused on trying to make sure every American can actually prosper in this country. Imagine a world that focuses on the few people in power while not even worrying about the others. That is the direction that America is going. And again, I will say it again. I am not trying to fearmonger. I am not just talking off the side of my neck. This is not BS that I'm blowing towards you. What I'm telling you is facts. And our local and statewide and national elections should never, ever, ever, ever be decided before we go to the ballot box and we vote. Every time I wake up on election day, and I vote on election day, and I don't vote early. I vote on election day because I love the thrill I get, the adrenaline rush I get, the pride I feel in voting. Never before I go to the ballot box should the outcome already be understood. When we went to go vote for whether you went and you voted for in the state Supreme Court race or you voted in the state superintendent race, we did not know who was going to be victorious that day, and I enjoyed that. I liked that. One thing that many non-voters say when they don't vote, the reason why they don't vote is because they don't believe their vote matters. And I hate when people say that because I do not believe that is true. Now, people have a choice to make when they want to go vote or not. That is up to you. But I do believe that our voices matter and that voting matters. And you can see it in the policies that impact us on a day-to-day to understand that our vote matters, our voice matters. And personally, as an African-American who is a millennial, right, and many of you listening are from Generation X, or some of y'all are baby boomers, right? Maybe we got some folks who were from the silent generation. But overall, for me, I understand that this is a privilege to be able to have the ability to vote and not have that ability become in question or taken away from us, because many of our elders cannot say the same. Because when my grandparents were coming up, access to voting wasn't easy down in Brownsville, Tennessee, or down in Mississippi. And so what we have to understand is that, yes, voting is our right, but it is also a privilege as an African American. And as we know, civil rights and people advocated for us to be able to have these free elections. So I do not take my ability to vote lightly. And I believe that people fought for equality and justice for everyone to be able to vote. So this takes me now to Texas, where we are seeing the will of the people being crushed. They are undermining the will of the people down in Texas. They are aiming to gerrymander maps and rig elections, and it is in full effect in Texas, and it will undoubtedly start a domino effect that will ruin this country. A domino effect where politicians are creating the districts and electing the officials that they want to win and usurping the voice and the vote of the people. Politicians down in Texas right now are determining who they want to win elections. This is a great American disgrace that this is happening, and it's a slap in the face to every single American listening. Now, I'm going to give y'all a backstory on why this is happening. Because historically, for those who are into politics, and if you're not, listen up, historically, whenever a president gets elected, you can go back to Obama getting elected in 2008. He had the House and he had the Senate. What happened in 2010? He lost the House. You can go to when Donald Trump was elected. What happened early on? In 2016, he had the House, he had the Senate, and then what happened at midterm elections? A bloodbath. He lost the House. Biden, he had the House, he barely had the Senate, and what happened during the midterm election? He lost both. That is a trend in American history that goes back decades of midterm elections. Usually there's a swing of the pendulum away from who is in the White House. Everybody knows that. And Donald Trump and his administration fully understand that. And instead of doing what people who are honorable people do, instead of just saying, you know what, we have a fight here, but I'm going to hit the campaign trail and I'm going to utilize the different things, that big, beautiful bill that we just passed. I'm going to campaign on what we have accomplished. That's what a true American would do, is fight based on the principles of what they believed in. But not this administration. You know what this administration did? They have taken the cowardly way out, and they decided if they cannot win in a fair way, they are simply going to rig the game and they are going to cheat. Now, this used to be something that was done subtly, and it was done behind curtains, closed doors. Here in Wisconsin, they did it behind closed doors. They had a whole computer draw up some maps. Both parties have done it before. It's not just Republicans, but both parties have done it before. But never has it been done in a way where the president of the United States says, I want you to do this. And again, right here in Wisconsin, we had extremely gerrymandered maps that were created at a law firm. And it was craziness when Scott Walker was in office. They destroyed computers. Literally, they took a bat to a computer server and destroyed a computer server. There's nonsense going on. Corruption. We had gerrymander maps, and then Tony Evers got elected, and he redrew the maps to be fair. Now you see more balance in our politics and more balance in our elections, and you see more evenly spread Democrats and Republicans across the state of Wisconsin, the way that it should be. But to combat what is coming, right, the fact that the Republicans are going to lose the House during the midterm election, Donald Trump decided that he was going to call on some states, openly call on states, such as Texas, to redraw maps and flip seats in order for Republicans to win. What Donald Trump is asking for the state of Texas and other states that are red to do is to take congressional maps and look at where there are Democrats and carve those Democrats out and make them lean towards Republican. That is corruption at its finest and is happening at the highest level. And if you don't believe me, go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And you can listen to y'all president openly talking about and asking states to rig an election for him. And before we play the audio, we've heard this before. This ain't nothing new. Remember down in Georgia in the 2020 election where he called the state attorney general and asked the state attorney general, can you find me a couple thousand votes? I need to find about 7,000 votes. Can you just find 7,000 votes for me? I think it was the Secretary of State he called. He asked him to find them 7,000 votes. This man don't give a damn about the people. He cares about staying in power. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you can hear y'all president openly telling states to rig elections for him to be able to stay in power.
At the event, which state besides Texas would you like Republicans to gerrymander? Say it again. Which state besides Texas would you like Republicans to redraw the congressional?
Well, there's about 4 of them. I'll let you figure that one out, but we have about 4 of them. In 3 cases, it's 1, and in 1 case, it's 2 or 3. And Texas would be 5.
Are you concerned California will turn around and do the same thing?
Well, we'll fight them. You know, they're so corrupt in California, you never know what's going to happen. But we've done pretty well in the courts in California, as you see. We're batting about 1,000, ultimately. We start off a little slow, and then we get a lot of hits.
Can y'all believe this man just said, I contacted states. I reached out to states to say, hey, we need to pick up some seats. In Texas, we're going to get about 5 seats. We're going to try to draw out 5 seats. And then when asked about California, he said, oh, well, they'll corrupt there. What in the hell? This is unreal. How did you folks vote for this man? I'm lost and I'm confused about what the appeal was. You just heard the president tell you his plans were to cheat. He just told you he wants to change the rules to win. He wants to eliminate minority seats and minority politicians in order to win an election down in Texas. He is willing to sell your black ass out in order to keep his hold and his grip on power. Let that sink in, because understand them seats down in Texas are mostly minority seats that will be flipped from Democrat over to Republican. And when you allow things like this to happen in our country, you no longer live in a free America. This country is no longer free when you allow stuff like this to happen. We no longer have an ounce of morals when we allow this stuff to happen. We're losing the morality of America, Truth Nation. We have a president encouraging for politicians to pick their constituents and not the constituents pick their politicians. Let me say that again. You have a president who is telling politicians to pick who their constituents will be versus the constituents picking who their politician will be. I need y'all to have that sink in. You're going to go to the ballot box in different places, and the outcome has already been decided, not by voters, but by the people in power. Truth Nation, we are turning into North Korea, we're turning into Russia where they have elections, China. This is that type of stuff. It has officially made its way to America, that type of politics. Elected officials are planning to rig elections in our face And sadly, the sad part about this, Truth Nation, is that there will be zero backlash or repercussions for this. 833-212-1017. Truth Nation, do you believe that Republicans are cheating to win? 833-212-1017. Do you all believe, like I believe, that the democracy is dying in front of our eyes? Does this anger you knowing that there's politicians, and it happened here in Wisconsin, but it happened behind closed doors. Now it's happening openly, where the president is asking states to take congressional districts that are blue and to flip them red by redrawing the lines of the maps. He is basically telling them, rig the election to ensure I still have the ability to rule and do as I want, to have no checks and balances. Why do Republicans always have to cheat to win? Why do Republicans always get away with this? Donald Trump even just told you, we're going to do this, and if California tries to do it, I'm going to go to the courts. I got people in the courts that take care of me. That is not democracy, Truth Nation. 833-212-1017. Is this the end of democracy? Do you feel the way I feel? I want to hear from y'all, Truth Nation, because Texas is gerrymandering their maps. And it is going to cause for a domino effect across this country from red states to blue states of politicians in red states and blue states selecting who they represent. It is all going to start with Texas, and it will trickle down undoubtedly. I'm telling y'all this right now. America has lost its morals, and democracy is officially dead. As soon as they pass this bill and they gerrymander Jasmine Crockett out of her seat because she is part of the places that's going to be impacted, California will do the same, and they'll have it blue. It's going to be tick for tack, until we no longer have a say in who is in power. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We'll continue more on the other side.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Your expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you.
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. The Pella Experience Center in Brookfield lets you see, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of windows and door options from 7 different Pella lines side by side. A friendly expert can go over Pella's endless possibilities for all price ranges, from colors to hardware to custom designs, ensuring you get the best possible look for your home. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you get the look you want at a price you can afford. Stop by soon, because if you order by July 31st, you can get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. It's off Blue Mound Road, kitty corner to Cops, or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call, and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call, and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call, and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Join Outreach on Thursday, July 31st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to learn how prenatal care, routine well child visits, and habits that empower parents for healthy pregnancy. Call 414-727-6320 to register today.
Hey, Wisconsin, are you feeling summer? Then it's time to feel cheesy. It's time to feel good. July 31st through August 10th, only at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Walls, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. You can always call in, text in by calling in at 833-212-1017. Again, Truth Talk and text line is 833-212-1017. You can always watch and stream us live on the YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, the world with the 5K. So make sure y'all subscribe and also give us a thumbs up as well. And on the other side, y'all, I was just talking about, again, I know for me, politics matters to me because I understand that the people in power get to choose the direction of our country, but more importantly, they get to choose the amount of assistance people get. They get to choose what developments that we have. They get to choose the assistance that we have when it comes to roads, right? They get to choose the assistance that we have for education. The local level means a lot. But what happens on a state level also impacts our day-to-day lives. What happens on a national level impacts our day-to-day lives. And what we have to understand is that we always need to be looking at what other states are doing, because a lot of times states will follow the leader. And so when I'm talking about the Texas gerrymandering their maps, where they are eliminating up to 5 Democratic seats in the state of Texas to make them more red in order for Donald Trump to have more power, that is a problem. They already redid the maps a couple years ago where they took away Democratic seats, but Donald Trump says, I need more so I can stay in power. And the issue I have is a lot of times when we hear stuff like this, we don't get upset about it. And there's no backlash. There's no repercussions for this. Like right now, Truth Nation, we are entering an arms race to see who can rig elections the most, who can screw over the American people the most. And listen, Democrats already have plans to do the same things in different states if Texas passes these maps. But we right now, again, are having an arms race to see who can screw you over the most. And I solely blame Trump and those who voted for Donald Trump for the fall of our democracy. When people told y'all Trump wanted to be a king, y'all didn't believe it. Hell, I was like, well, that might be a little far. Damn, I was wrong. I was wrong. I knew he was crazy. I knew he was a narcissist. I knew he would do whatever for power. But I don't think I believe that the American people, matter of fact, I didn't think I believed that states, after they had redrawn the lines, would go back and find a reason to redraw lines to keep somebody in power, because we hadn't seen it before. And so, yes, Donald Trump is doing things that kings do. Don't let nobody tell you he's not. You can just point directly to this. And so, Truth Nation, what a king does is they do anything and everything to hold on to power. They put on symbolic parades around their birthday, quote unquote, around the military to basically show strength and stability. They abuse their power and use military force to quell or, put down any dissension like we saw in California. They disregard the will of the people and focus on how they can stay in power versus how can I help people feel powerful. That is what a king does. And yes, Donald Trump will never wear a crown, But when you eliminate checks and balances like the Republicans are doing right now, and he can do whatever he wants, even rig elections openly, that is a problem. And again, I am not speaking hyperbolically. I am just giving you the facts. Democracy will officially die in America as soon as they gerrymander the maps in Texas. 833-212-1017. I want to know, why do Republicans have to cheat to win? And how can you still support Donald Trump after this? And I know a lot of y'all listening to who voted for Donald Trump are listening right now. And a lot of y'all probably feel a little stupid, and a lot of y'all trying to make reasons and justify, well, what about? No. This man is telling people to cheat to win. Would you tell your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter to cheat to win? No, because it's morally wrong. But you allow your president to do that? That makes no sense to me. So again, Truth Nation, I am discussing the fall of the American democracy, as Donald Trump has asked the state of Texas to change their congressional maps for him to stay in complete power, so he can keep the Senate, the House, and the White House. The president is openly asking states to rig elections for him, so he can be able to rule without checks and balances. And I'm here to ring the alarm because y'all got to know what's happening. And again, I'm going to talk about Milwaukee again tomorrow. Don't get it twisted. We'll be back. But today, y'all got to understand what is happening in this country. We are no longer following the principles of free and fair elections. The government is expanding their authority and taking the power out of the people's hands. We no longer have the ability to choose our elected officials and hold them accountable for the decisions that we make or that they make. We, the people, no longer can shape our nation's future by participating in elections because the outcome is already set in stone by some of these politicians. When people went and they voted for Obama in 2008, it's because they wanted to shape the future of this country. When people went and voted for Trump in 2016, they wanted to shape the future of this country. Biden 2020, the future of this country. That's what voting is about. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when a democracy falls. For more information on how Donald Trump is rigging the 2026 congressional maps, I'm going to allow CBS News to tell y'all exactly what is happening in Texas, because I cannot re-emphasize enough is that this is so important, because it will happen here in the state of Wisconsin. I'm going to get to that. But I'm telling y'all, this will be the first domino to fall, and the rest of the country will follow. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube to watch a clip from CBS News talking about the redistricting fight
of the House of Representatives
across this country. Again, go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, or go ahead, turn up your radio for the CBS News story.
Now to a national partisan chess match over control of the House of Representatives. Republicans in Texas today released a draft of their proposal for a new congressional map designed to increase the number of districts favorable to the GOP. This is in advance of the 2026 elections, which will determine control of the House. The plan, pushed by President Trump, could invite a response from states where Democrats hold power. CBS's Ed O'Keefe joins me now to explain. Ed, what is exactly this proposal in Texas?
Well, look, they released a new map today, and while that's not unusual because states usually redraw their lines after a national census every 10 years, what is unusual is that they did it in the middle of a decade. And they redrew it in a way that is designed to influence the results of next year's elections that are still about 450 days away. So consider this. There are 38 House seats from Texas. And of the 38 members of the Texas congressional delegation, just 13 of them are Democrats. But the map drawn today would essentially take 5 of those Democratic districts and make them more Republican, or more likely to be won by a Republican in next year's elections. We know typically the party in the White House loses seats in the first midterm election of a president's term, but the White House has been pressuring Texas Republicans to do this redraw in hopes of padding the slim majority they have right now on Capitol Hill.
Extremely briefly, Ed, any chance it would backfire in Texas before I ask you about Democrats?
It totally could, because if the historic midterm trends head in the Democratic direction, districts that are redrawn amid public outcry about this could potentially tip them towards Democrats. It's a big risk. It's something nobody in Texas wanted to do. They're doing it because the president asked them to.
Very helpful. Okay, now to the Democrats. There are Democrats saying, okay, we got to do this in our states. Is that going anywhere? Is that possible?
Well, it is. Let's focus first on this Congresswoman Julie Johnson we spoke to in Dallas. It's one of her districts. Her district is one of those that would be redrawn. It's centrally located in the Dallas area right now. She told me 62% of her constituents rent. Education's a top priority. But the way they redrew it today, if you look at this, it stretches that district from Dallas hundreds of miles into rural East Texas. And she says, that means I'm going to have to worry about water issues and expanding broadband and not just those issues on education. Then I asked her what she thinks Democrats across the country should do. Take a listen.
They need to redistrict their maps. You know, this is an all-out war. I am for fair and independent redistricting across the country, so long as we all do it. But if we're going to do partisan gerrymandering, then game on. We all should. We all need to be playing by the same rules.
Game on.
If Texas doesn't watch for
this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Because now you have Democrats saying we are having an all-out war. We're talking about drawing maps, not bombs falling over Gaza, not bombs falling in Ukraine, not bombs falling across this globe. We are talking about drawing maps. I told y'all, when you have politicians talking about all-out war when it comes to drawing maps, the fall of democracy has arrived. And what the Republicans have done in Texas is they're cheating. And like I said before, with this new map, Jasmine Crockett was drawn out of her district. Do y'all think that was by chance? Peep this. And we're going to go to break. We'll come back. They asked Jasmine Crockett and these other politicians, what is your address? Can we confirm your address, please? Confirm the address. And after Jasmine Crockett confirmed her address, you know what they did? They drew her out of her current district. So the people that she represents, she no longer lives in that exact same district. That's what they did to Jasmine Crockett. Y'all think that was by chance? They understand the fact that she is a young, up-and-coming, intelligent black leader in politics, and they drew her out. Jasmine Crockett could not return. She may not return to Congress, not because of the will of the people, but because they drew her out. And the majority of the seats that are at risk are either black or Hispanic politicians. You did see the white woman as well. There's about 2 white people who will be impacted, who are both Democrats. You know, this is done by design. And I don't get how some of y'all black folks yell about Democrats. They don't do this, they don't do that. But they sure don't take away your politicians. I've never heard that. I never heard y'all say they didn't take away your politicians. I know some of the politicians suck, but you never said that. They didn't take away your ability to vote out Gwen Moore. They never took that away from you. They didn't take your ability to vote out Lena Taylor. They didn't take out your ability to vote out LaTanya Johnson. They never did that. It's the Republicans that are always looking for the advantage. But 833-212-1017. America is losing their democracy, and I want to know how you feel about it. And when we come back in 4 minutes, I'm going to tell you why an all-out war, political war, is about to break out in America. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We're talking for.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Ride the wave to clean at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for a winning shine. Become a monthly member and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 per day. Plus, skip the wait in the fast lane and enjoy unbeatable amenities like free vacuums and tire air. Visit any of their convenient locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
Summer in Milwaukee is nonstop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season you already know. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit. Make sure you experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, you know, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive on collaboration in the Gimbel-Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, you know, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, like that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Brewers fell to the Cubs in Game 3 of their 3-game series on Wednesday afternoon to the Cubs. This one by a final score of 10-3. They'll pick things back up on Friday on the road out in Washington to take on the Nationals. Over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers, after an off day on Wednesday, resume practice on Thursday. Xavier McKinney talking about the mentality he has going into this season.
We locked in, man. I know personally for me, I got one goal on my mind, and that's to win the championship. And I think everybody understands that collectively, not just the team, the staff. Everybody understands that.
Packers' first preseason game is set for August 9th. And speaking of preseason in the NFL, it begins this evening with the Hall of Fame game. Chargers taking on the Lions. That begins at 7 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth Nation, tomorrow is the day we have been entering fans into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway for the last 3 months, and tomorrow we finally pick our one call, that's all, $5,000 giveaway winner. Be sure to tune in to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. so you do not miss your call, because if you do, we will go to the next caller until we find our next $5,000 winner. The last person will be entered today. We'll draw the names, and then we will make it happen. So again, that is the big Gruber 5K giveaway tomorrow on Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, myself, on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, your host. You can always watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. I'm sorry, I have been neglecting YouTube, but I love that y'all are having great conversations going on today. And Marty said, welcome to another episode of Complain About Trump with Kyle. Damn right, Marty. Damn right. I'm glad you said that, Marty, because I'm glad you are okay with somebody cheating in elections. So, Marty, people like you are the worst of this freaking world. You know why? It's because you have no morals. You have zero morals whatsoever. All you think about is how can you win an election, or a person you care about win an election. And the fact that you voted for Donald Trump, you're probably a disgusting human being. So thanks for joining, Marty. Make sure you give a thumbs up. Matter of fact, give a thumbs down, Marty, just to make sure you're still there. Because people like Marty get on my nerves. Not because he said that, but because Marty supports this nonsense going on in his world. So, Marty, you're trash just like Trump. How about that? 833-212-1017. Security Mike, you want to call in and discuss the gerrymandering conversation we're having as Texas is gerrymandering their maps after Donald Trump asked for them to find 5 more seats so he can keep the House. 833-212-1017. Security Mike, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
How you doing, Kyle? I'm just as disgusted as you because we're going to get a lot of them like that. They know this world is going wrong right now. His agenda is just to stay in power. He's not worrying about anything else, the inflation or anything. Just power. And that's because of this Epstein thing, too. Because if he's not a president again, they pushing hard with this. This man is going to be found to be a pedophile. He's hanging out with that guy. But I just want to ask you this.
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden, Jasmine Crockett is out of a job?
So what happened was Jasmine Crockett's district was adjusted. And so basically the 30th congressional district that she represented, she was drawn out of the 30th congressional district. So her address was drawn out of the 30th congressional district. Now, she can run in a potential different district, or she can do what Bob Donovan did, She can move to the new district that represents, but she was drawn out of the 30th congressional district.
Oh, my God.
And so that would, and
so now
again,
she's got to move in that district?
So she would have to, to move in that district, or in her new district. I'm not sure if that new district would lean a certain way, but basically the district that she represents now, Texas 30th district, was redrawn, and she was drawn out of the district she currently represents now. It's a shame. This is
all low down then, man. And his people know he's doing this, and they going like riding along with it, like that last caller.
Yeah.
This is sad, but I hope it backfires. I hope it backfires because a lot of people might say they even voted for Trump. Like, no, we can't go. We can't go with this thing. He ain't not supposed to be able to run anyway. He only get 2 terms.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, Security Mike. What I believe, to be honest, what I believe is going to happen is Donald Trump will not run in 2028, but I do believe that J.D. Vance is going to run for president in 2028, and Donald Trump's going to run as like the vice president. And he's going to do it the way that Vladimir Putin did it. Vladimir Putin, he was once term limited, and when his terms were up, he had Dmitry Medvedev, who was his second run for president, and then he was president, and they changed the rules, so he had to wait 5 years. So now you can be a president, I think, however long you want in Russia. So he had his number 2 get in. He was still kind of in power, kind of like the shadow power boss. And then 5 years after that, he ran against Dmitry, won the seat, and has been president ever since. I do believe that Donald Trump, he's not going to do it that way, but I do believe Donald Trump is still going to find his way to be part of power. Maybe Vance steps down and he assumes the presidency, but Donald Trump 2028 is going to be a real thing. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. But right now, the reaction I think we need to have is this. I was once a person that believed in the fact that I applauded Tony Evers for the fair maps that he drew here in Wisconsin, because we had a map fight here in Wisconsin not long ago. And I believe in fairness, and I was so glad that we had a governor that also believed in fairness. He drew a map that Republicans agreed to, and it was not a map to give Democrats all the power. It was a map to be more fair and more balanced for the for the Wisconsinites, for Wisconsin folks. So for me, I was proud of my governor, but I do have regrets, and I'm not too proud to admit that. I now regret that I believe that fair democracy and fair maps, which allows for the voice of every Milwaukeean, every Wisconsinite, and every American to be heard, was the way I wanted to go. I no longer believe that, Truth Nation. I don't. I'm going to the dark side because I don't believe if folks are not going to hide what they're doing behind closed doors, then you might as well fight fire with fire. I want what is best for everyone. And if what's best for everyone is getting rid of these cheating folks who are trying to rig elections by Democratic states doing the same thing, then do it. Then absolutely do it. So why I said that we're about to have a political American civil war is simply because Democrats are not going to take this laying down. Democrats have already said in different states like California, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, where Democrats have all the power, they have already said that they are going to gerrymander maps and all of a sudden take Republican politicians out. It is a tick for tack. It's no longer about the American people, y'all. That is why I wanted to talk about this today, because the floodgates have been opened. Everybody is going to change the rules. Everybody is going to change the game. Everybody is going to rig the election in order to try to have power. So the Democrats will now be being drugged into this fight, and I'm not mad about it because the gloves have to be off, and Democrats need to be Mike Tyson in his prime. They need to be Ali in their prime. They need to be defensive like Floyd Mayweather. Because at this point in time now, it is not fair that Republicans will be able to cheat and nobody do anything about it. 833-212-1017, Duke in Milwaukee. You have a serious question about what is happening.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. You know, I'm kind of, when it comes to these politics situations, I'm kind of ignorant to it. Like, what's this mean? Like, you know, like, are we on the verge of conflict? Like, you know, how much longer is our intelligence going to be disrespected? How much are we going to be disrespected? Like, just insulted like this? Like, what does this actually mean? Like, how much longer before we, like, you know, actually, like, you know, end up snapping out or something? That's what I want to know.
I'm right there with you, Duke. I'm not 100% sure of how much more American people are going to take of this, but I do know Democrats are going to fight back. And again, the only people that win are the politicians and not you. I do not believe that it is fair that there are going to be Republican districts in California, in New York, in New Jersey, in Maryland, potentially Massachusetts. I do not, in Illinois even more. I do not believe that it is fair that they are going to gerrymander the maps and eliminate Republican seats to match what the Republicans are doing, but you have to fight fire with fire. You cannot allow Donald Trump to continue to move without checks and balances. And when we come back, I'm going to wrap up the show talking about how Wisconsin is also going to join this fight. Because there's currently a lawsuit in the state of Wisconsin that can shake up our congressional maps. And I'll tell you my opinion and thoughts on that in 3 minutes. This is Truth to Power right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
Hi, my name is Noor, and I am proud to be a Riverside University High School Tiger. As a rising sophomore, I am excited to get involved in many opportunities. RUHS offers like advanced placement classes, sports, and student council. But what I love about Riverside most is that Riverside University High School makes everyone feel welcome and provides students with lots of opportunities. On Saturday, August 23rd, from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, join us at Riverside for the Truth Family Fest. We will have entertainment, food trucks, and vendors. See you there.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great Impressions, perceptions, everything.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance, and you can weather any storm. You'll save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, assigned as operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, Wisconsin, are you feeling summer? Then it's time to feel cheesy. It's time to feel good. July 31st through August 10th, only at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Bike crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, and again, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And I know today was one of those heavier, informative shows, but I just think it's so important that we are prepared for what is to come, and that we understand what is coming, and we know what is happening on a national stage, because it will impact on an individual stage. And before break, I teased Wisconsin. See, right now, Wisconsin currently has gerrymandered maps that were gerrymandered by Scott Walker and Republicans. And it basically made it so they have 7 seats and Democrats have 2 seats here in the state of Wisconsin. I might be off on that. It might be 8-2. But one thing I believe that will happen soon is that the state Supreme Court race that just took place, that Susan Crawford was elected in, there are going to be a challenge. There is currently a lawsuit in front of the Wisconsin State Supreme Court to decide whether or not they need to redraw the congressional maps. Now, I trust our Supreme Court, and I like people who are impartial. But at this point in time, we need to understand that we need to fight fire with fire. When I say we, I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about the will of the people in democracy. Because regardless of what your political affiliation is, this should not sit well with you. And you need to fight fire with fire by saying, you know what, balance out the power. And so here in the state of Wisconsin, with the congressional maps being challenged, what you will probably see is the current maps being not gerrymandered, but just being equal again. So you see a seat like the seat in La Crosse area that used to be Ron Kine, now is Derek Van Crazy Orton. That one gets shifted back to being probably more blue, because they shifted it from blue to being red. You'll see the seat kind of going south by the Beloit-Janesville area. You'll see that seat maybe get flipped as well. You may even see Green Bay seat get flipped. But what I'm saying is this, is that I favor Wisconsin doing anything they can to fight back against Donald Trump. And if that includes gerrymandering maps, then so be it. 833-212-1017. This has been Truth to Power. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in today, and I'll read some of y'all messages. Is LaRon said, what are people doing to be prepared? Are they educated enough to survive no matter who the president is? I hope people are educated enough, and I'm trying to do my due diligence to help. Also on the talking text line, 833-212-1017, Jovan said they're following the example of Florida, where they took away seats from Democrats. They absolutely are. And lastly, Martin said, tax exempt money for certain time, Kyle, in the National Leave hip pockets. Okay, I guess. But this has been Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Again, thank y'all so much, Truth Nation, for listening here today and joining in. And I hope y'all leave educated and informed to be able to go speak out against some of the nonsense that is happening in this country. Tomorrow, I will be joined by Bailey Coleman, the wonderful Bailey Coleman, and tomorrow I will be giving away $5,000. It's my first time giving away $5,000, and one of you lucky folks have been entered in to win will win that cash money tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to Truth to Power tomorrow, because you don't know what time I'm giving away the money. Only I know. This has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. The Tory Lowe Show is up next, and that money's coming.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments,